Actually booked a very weird role recently. On Netflix, there's a show called Indian Matchmaking. Some of you will know this show, and not only the proud people, a lot of people know this show, they're watching it. They now have Jewish matchmaking, they're expanding it into a franchise. It's about Indian matchmaking. I turned 30, and I flipped out. I realized I had spent my entire life in Ohio. I took it really, really hard, and the people said to me then, and they still say to me now, age is just a number. All right, fine, then your weight is just a number. Your height is just a number. Your credit score is just a number. Your cholesterol is a number. Your blood pressure, those are just numbers, right? But numbers have value, which implies they have meaning. They mean something. Like, doesn't it already feel like this year has moved so fast? It's shorter than any year so far, right? Well, there's some math to that. I'm gonna break it down, all right? My son, I have a son, by the way. My son is turning 2 years old. I know. He's turning 2 years old, so this next year of his life is 50% of it, right? 1/2, 50% of his life, it's gonna feel really long to him. This next year, I'm almost 50. I know, black don't crack, brown don't frown, that's what I'm saying. So this next year is 2% of my life. So to me, it's gonna feel really short. To him, it's gonna feel really long. And the only reason I tell you that is to depress the hell out of everyone in the room. No, I say it because I want people to stop saying age is just a number. It's crap. In fact, toilet paper is a very good analogy, in fact, because when you sit down and check to see how much toilet paper is left, hopefully in the reverse order, you check and then you sit down. When you think half of the roll is left, there's actually less than half left because of the way that circumference works. Think about it, right? There's more on the outside than there is on the inside, like people in LA. So my analogy is that life is like toilet paper. The less that's left, the faster it goes. I'm not sure when this turned into a TED Talk. But that's okay. I turned 30, I flipped out. And I moved to California, moved to Los Angeles, specifically to be a full-time comedian and an actor. I am an actor. Although you haven't, yeah, sure, no, thank you. You haven't seen me in anything, so I'm like an auditioner. Actually booked a very weird role recently. On Netflix, there's a show called Indian Matchmaking. Some of you will know this show, and not only the proud people, a lot of people know this show, they're watching it. They now have Jewish matchmaking, they're expanding it into a franchise. And if you don't know the show, or even if you do, it's about Indian matchmaking. It's a very coy title. So I actually do the audio description for the show. Some of you will not know what that is. I will explain. If you go in Netflix into settings and turn on audio description. I know it's hard to say, Mom, I made it, when you have to tell them to go into the settings. But it's for the seeing impaired. It helps them hear what's going on. You narrate the show. It's really kind of a crazy thing. It's kind of cool to be able to do this. I don't know. It's the role that I was able to book. But that show cracks me up. Indian Matchmaking cracks me up. If you've seen it, or even if you haven't, the star of the show is someone named Seema Auntie. And what her job is to connect South Asians together romantically, and she is right about 0% of the time. That's a strange premise for a show. It'd be like turning on SportsCenter. Here's all the shots Steph Curry missed last night. I don't want to see that. I want to see my boy traded from 10 feet behind the three-point line. It's crazy. But she'll say that stuff. She'll criticize, especially the women. She's a little sexist. Seema Auntie. She will say to the women, "Mia beti, you have too many criterias." She takes this word criteria and she makes it even more plural. To show you how single you are. It's true that she'll say to them, she'll go, you know, you get 60, 70% of what you're looking for, it's okay. Really, Auntie? When's the last time I could bring home a 60, 70% on a math test? Thing is, they always tell you in LA, you need to make yourself unique. You need to find what makes you, you. Get tired of hearing that out here. What makes you unique? That's hard to find. Out of the 100 billion people who have ever lived on Earth, the 100 billion people who have ever lived on Earth, what could you do that no one else has done? Well, mine's a little weird. I'm the only person to perform stand-up comedy on all 7 continents. Thanks. It's a little random. I'm gonna tell you how I did it. North America was easy. I'm doing it again right now. Asia was easy because of that white guy who told me to go back to India. That was the gift that keeps on giving. And India was really cool, man. It was a really, really cool thing. I went over and did a tour called Make Chai Not War. And I'm Hindu. One of my best friends, Azhar Usman, is Muslim. And we were thinking, you know what, we agree on so much, right? We watch the same movies, we listen to the same music, we laugh at the same jokes, we agree on everything except for the final destination of our souls. But we're like, you know what, maybe what we could do for Hindus and Muslims, since there's so much conflict, we'll start a comedy tour. And we're like, if Hindus and Muslims can laugh together, maybe they can live together, and you see what a great job we did with that. Problem solved. The US government, you may or may not know this, the State Department actually has a program where they send American entertainers overseas to endear America to countries while we bomb their neighbors. Funny because it's true. And so the thing is, they'll send over jazz singers and comedians and artists, and it is really a cool thing. So the US State Department was like, get one more comedian. We got Hari Kondabolu out of New York, and so it came to pass. The US government sent 3 comedians to India. And they brought us back, by the way, because this was during Obama. Trump would have just left us there, I think. Got rid of 3 of them. These were big shows. We did 7 shows in 7 cities. It was crazy. We had an average attendance of about 1,500 to 2,000 Indians in these audiences. It was crazy. About 2,000 Indians. Well, although India is now the world's most populous country, so 1,500 Indians is like 300 Americans. Which also checks out weight-wise. We landed at the Bombay airport. Well, okay, let me canvass this for a second because we got quite a few people who may have been to India. Do you say Bombay or Mumbai? Round of applause if you say Bombay. Round of applause if you say Mumbai. Oh, okay, we got a younger crowd. That's what that means right there, all right? I remember I ate at a restaurant over in that city, and it had a sign. And the sign at this restaurant over there read, Mumbai is the location, Bombay is the emotion. Ooh, I like that. I'll roll with that. I like that, right? So we landed at the BOM airport. We go in, and there's so many people there, you never quite get used to it. There's a labor surplus because of the sheer number of humans. We land, we go in, and 8 people checked our passport. I don't even think 6 of them worked there. Some of them didn't have a stamp or a stand. It's like, passport de do, passport de do, passport de do. 8 times in a row. I'm like, that guy, I think he's an Uber driver. What is he doing with my passport? So we get in the car, and actually we find out very quickly that he's a Hindu driver. And you can tell that he's Hindu because he has a Ganpati on his dashboard. Not everybody's gonna know what a Ganpati is. A gun? No, that's Texas. A Ganpati is a little statue of Lord Ganesh, one of our gods. And Lord Ganesh is the remover of obstacles. And yet the traffic. Is he asleep? What's happening?